I send you. I put a commercial one.
For what?
For my house.
You put it in the air system?
The problem is then you can't hear.
No, put it in the air.
On the recordings, you
And
can't
you know
hear.
the problem is, it gets connected to the Wi-Fi. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly how it works. I'm gonna, my son.
You have to download the app.
I wish we can get
Still
it
there.
further with a mic or something.
I don't know why the microphone doesn't
You
even
get
connect
the
to
DI
this.
here
No, it
And you do a
connects.
little mic, if you just zoom in on
Yeah.
you, and people even sitting next to you won't be in the screen.
What'd you say? Are we live?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Whose laptop is this? Yours?
Yeah. We're looking. We have an iPhone that should be
What is this?
donated and used.
This a
but-
computer or what?
No, just an iPad.
Yesterday we
I have
started Torah Cafe. Yesterday we started Torah Cafe, which was where they asked the Sabbath Tuna said, show us something that's not worth the damage it causes. And they brought him that carpet that it didn't fit. He brought a carpet that didn't fit in the door, right? Then the Rebbe started this concept. We have to take ourselves out of the Taivas HaBahamias of the Yetzer Hara.
You know who talks a lot about Bahamians?
Who?
Tanya.
Yeah.
You learn Tanya. She brings a lot to the Bahamas.
V'lalas ala seichel. And we have to go up to the seichel. And when you're drawn after your imaginations and your fantasies, that's called your heart is in charge. There's a shrada of the lave is in charge. And when he goes out and when he can break this idea of the heart ruling him, where he's chasing after every fantasy in his world, and that's breaking his stone, his heart of stone. That's the idea of the shamir, that there was the worm that they used to cut through the stones. That's the same idea. Meaning, so, and we're going to go through this idea, and this is what I want to bring in over here, Rabbi Pinson, into the conversation. We're going to actually bring him into the conversation to get an idea of what it means, active intelligence. What is these three that the Rebbe uses over here? He uses three different terms as far as Seichel. There's Seichel HaPayel, Seichel B'Kayach, Seichel HaPayel, and Seichel HaNikna. So it's active intelligence. So they put out this Rav Pinson AI, where you can ask him anything. So we're gonna ask Rav Pinson AI now. Good morning, Rav Pinson.
You don't have to press anything.
He was a robot all along.
Let's
You
see.
talk to him now?
You have to
Okay.
allow it to.
He's alive?
No, it's an AI.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Rav Pinson. Your microphone's not working.
Said before we get here.
We're trying to use.
Yeah, it's on.
We've been by, sit down, Liz. Get to see it. What's going on with your
By
head?
the way, I don't like this. I can't see you.
What you gotta see?
Him.
Sit here.
So you sit next to me.
Can you hear? Testing, testing. Yeah, anybody else have a phone?
Let's try another one.
I don't have a phone.
Maybe this has to be on ring. Hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Maybe because I'm on private safari.
No, it's under improve. That's what you're getting now?
Oh my God, the flight crashed.
Too many people
Is
use
it
it.
really?
Due to tremendous influx of users, the swipe site is currently undergoing some improvements to handle the load. We appreciate your patience and look forward to speaking with the Rav shortly.
Nice.
Wow, so much people?
That's cool.
You don't understand how many messages I got, personal messages about it, how it's off the hook, and people have this recommendation and that recommendation, as if I have anything to do with it. I have nothing to do with it.
Who made
But
this up?
I believe it's his children. Put it together.
Interesting that we were
Rev
just talking
Pinson,
about
we could
this.
handle your load.
Wow.
Nice, cool. Okay, so now we're gonna do
Amazing.
it without
So
Rav
it's
Pinson.
mom's,
Yeah.
like, it's mom's like a real.
Yeah, by the way, I don't like
You gotta
this
wait
idea.
online to.
Here's the money.
It's yours.
Thank you.
I don't really care about
You
what
have
Rev
to
Pinson
wait-
has to say
You
right
have to wait
now.
online for it. Jesus.
I just don't at this time, right now.
Oh, now,
He wants to see Rav
Yeah.
what
have to
else
wait
you don't
online
want? What
for the
else,
penis
man?
with
What
the
else?
app.
What else? Wow.
You have to wait online.
I want to hear what these.
Man,
I want to hear what the people in front of me have to say. Not on the phone. I want to hear what you have to say. What do you have to say? You don't say.
after Abe said, I don't say nothing.
What happened yesterday? I feel like I missed
Nothing
a
happened.
whole
Let's just
world
move
of
on.
You
events.
missed a big show yesterday.
Nothing happened.
You missed a big show. Wow.
There was a very.
If somebody had
There was a
M16, he would use
display.
it.
No, what came out
Killing.
to explain what happened yesterday was what came out was the energy of have to versus the energy of want to. And there's always that clash
Sugar?
in tension in ourselves in Klal Yisrael between different sides of Klal Yisrael. You can call it Rachel and Leah. You can call it different sides. Rabbi Shemaiah has an entire sefer, pamphlet called Kuntras Rachel V'Leah, where it's fascinating. I'd love to do it one day, where he breaks down all personality types into two different types of people. You're either a Rachel type of person or you're a Leah person. Rachel people like to connect to the big picture, to God. Don't give me the little rules. I can't be busy with the details. I just want the big thing like that. Leah people need the details and need the rules in order to feel
It
like
sounds
they're
like you're
alive.
saying bitches be bitches. That's what I'm saying. That's what I hear.
Also,
That's what I'm hearing.
also, but there's two different personalities. The Rachel people like to start things and very rarely finish things. The Leah people will start and finish things.
Structure and flow.
Structure and flow. It's exact, and it's the personality types. And he says, and just because your father's one way doesn't mean you're that way at all. He says, you and your children are
It's nothing
usually
to do
your
with
biggest
father.
fights are going to be when you're different types. When you're
Nice,
both, when one's a Rachel and one's a Leah in children, that's the biggest clashes. And you have to recognize that that's going on, and in spouses, there's generally one Rachel and one Leah, and you need to balance them. And then he says, and within ourselves, we have the Rachel and Leah. Nobody's 100% one way or 100% the other way. We all have tendencies, natiyas towards a certain way, but it doesn't mean that's who he is.
Right.
So the Rachel and Leah attitude, so part of that comes out. If you ask me, the whole Shiners is one big Leah. Meaning it's a bunch of people that have to daven.
And that's a great thing.
And it's a great thing. It should be called, Oil Leah. The whole place. Should be Oil Leah, because that's what it is. It's the whole thing, because it's everybody getting their gestempel. I was Shiner. They got Shiner today. And Yankee Carmel.
Shiner handled my load.
Meaning, I got Shiner. And that's what the whole thing is. I davened with a minion today. I got my stamp. I got my sticker. I voted. I could post it on my status. I'm done. I got through my chakras. I can figure out where I can get my mincha married by plug and get it done. And that's all one big layer. Meaning, I have to do it. Then the guy comes in here, and therefore, let's get it done as quickly as possible. Let's get it done, thank you. Let's get it done as quickly as possible because I have to get it done, so let's get it done. So yesterday it only played out. So now Shlomo, we usually don't have that issue because generally, especially this weekend, people that are here by choice. Nobody's in a rush. It's beautiful. Somebody added in Tachnan yesterday.
Oh my
So
god.
just on the Tachnan piece, this entire energy back and forth exploded. Rachel and Leah exploded over the Tachnun. Because somebody felt like we had to do it. So did it, but did it real fast because we have to do it. Because we do Tachnun. You know, when you're doing Tachnun B'Shita, you're doing Tachnun, so I have to get it over with.
All right.
So it went real fast. The other guy, the Rachel guy, says, I don't have to do Tachnun. If I'm doing Tachnun, it's because I want to do. Slow down. What are you
Slow
rushing
roll.
through Tachnun for? If we're doing it because we want to do it, you don't have to. He's doing it because he has to. So I'm saying it only played itself out in Tachnun yesterday. But both sides of it, Rachel and Leah, so powerfully played itself out. And that's what happened yesterday, if you just want to understand.
And who won out?
Nobody won.
No, Rachel will stay Rachel and Leah will stay Leah.
Right, but
They're
objective.
both right.
But
And
objectively,
they're both
but
right.
objectively, who
We
won?
need them both. We need
So
them
who's
both.
the Yaakov? Who's the Yaakov to
And
put
in ourselves. That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
Who's gonna make sure that
We
they
all
play
have
together?
Rachels in ourselves. We all have Leah in ourselves. The key is
To
to
bring it
balance
back, that's the
them.
lave working, and how do we bring in the seichel?
Means yes, we have to say Tachnun. Yes, we have to daven. Yes, we have to go to Shiners, and we have to daven Mincha. I'm not taking away. That's not saying we don't have to. But
Very
when
good,
you
very
do it because you choose to.
Okay.
If you're doing it mitzitcha, from your perspective, if you're doing it because you have to, you're wasting your time.
So
You're
let's-
wasting your time, meaning I would rather do this. I have to do this. So I'm going away from what I'd rather do to what I have to do.
Right.
So I am wasting, quote unquote, my time.
No,
If it was up to me, I wouldn't do it.
no.
That's what have to means.
So then that's
If
Leah or
I'm-
that's Rachel? It's
That's
neither.
That's lay. It means if I'm giving away from my time because I have to do this, I'd rather be sitting on the couch. I'd rather be sitting by the fireplace listening to music. You're telling me I have to go to Meir. So I'm taking my time that I'd rather be on the couch, and I'm giving it to Hashem because I have to do it.
You have to.
Because I have to do it, I'm taking my block of time and I'm giving it away because I have to. As opposed
So
to,
Rachel was wrong.
no, that's one way of.
Why was Leah crying all the time?
What's that?
I don't know. I have no freaking
She
clue.
had to get married to Esau. She had to. She had to get married to Esau. That's what she was
What's
crying.
that?
I don't understand that. That's not what happened.
I don't have to do
The
nothing.
Rachel is saying, the Rachel is on the couch the same way. The Rachel's on the couch the same way. The Rachel also is enjoying the music and the fireplace. But the Rachel's saying, I have to go. Meaning there's a mitzvah, that there's a chiyuv, it says in Shulchan Aruch, chayuv, I have to go. But if I have to go, I might as well choose to go.
Yes.
And let me choose to go, and let this be my number one choice.
I like Rachel
It's not
better.
my number two choice,
Rachel.
and I have to do.
Yeah, Rachel was definitely.
Let me choose
Everyone
to go,
knows.
so I don't have to nothing.
You have to daven Ma'ariv? You have to daven Ma'ariv?
You have to daven Ma'ariv.
Why? Where does it say you have to daven Ma'ariv?
It says in Shulchan Aruch you have to daven.
What does it say before Shulchan Aruch? Where the Torah? It doesn't say.
It says Yitzchak went out. Yaakov
Says
went out to the
Shulchan
field
Aruch,
and
I have
davened
to daven
Ma'ariv.
Ma'ariv.
You happy? You trying to?
I don't daven Ma'ariv.
You shouldn't.
I don't daven
That's
Ma'ariv
amazing
either.
for you.
If we're gonna be honest, why? Where does it say you have to daven Ma'ariv? It says you have to daven Ma'ariv.
I
It says you should daven
down
Ma'ariv.
sometimes. I'm lying, but
What was before Shulchan Aruch?
Before Shulchan Aruch, they were
Yaakov.
from the Beis Hamikdash, right? In the Beis Hamikdash there was no tefillah. During the time of the Beis Hamikdash there was no tefillah. The karbanos were the tefillah.
Understand
did
that.
they even make brachos when they did Kabbalah?
No, there wasn't specific brachas for karbanos.
There's kavunas.
There's karbanos.
There was smicha.
There's smicha.
Was
But the
tefillah when they were
karbanos-
walking in the field?
The karbanos were the
They were
things.
connecting?
So the doiraisa of tefillah, the Rambam says,
Very good
is
question.
when you need
It
something,
was a lane.
if a tzara comes on you and you don't go out and daven, you are considered an achza, you're considered somebody that doesn't believe. Meaning the doiraisa to daven is for when you need it. Meaning when you need something and you don't daven, That's where the problem lies, because that's where you're showing you truly don't believe.
But when did davening become
Yeah,
Shabbos
because you don't
Milchamar?
But what?
Because you don't eat.
Very good Shmairev. What happens when you're just doing Shmairev?
That's the way
Yeah,
you're
not-
supposed
oh,
to.
just
That's the
crying in the
Doilis.
car.
When you need go.
So
that
that's
tefillah?
like
That's
Yes.
Doilis. It's
Right.
fascinating.
Right.
When,
But
when you need go. Now the Chachamim after the Churban Beis Hamikdash
as consciousness elevated
elevated
throughout the world.
and elevated, and we lost the Koyach HaNevuah.
Exactly.
We used to have Nevi'im. They used to come and say, Hashem told me to tell you this. The Navi was an interesting character always. He would show up out of nowhere, usually with long hair, with a staff, and show up and say, hey, God told me to tell you.
Trump in a lake.
And some people, so there's a whole parsha in the Torah about the Navi Hashaka.
Right.
There's a whole thing about the Navi Hashaka. There was, but there were Nevi'im that God came to. The Kohen Gadol had to have a haircut every day. The king had to have a haircut every day. The Navi didn't. There was no such, yeah. They, because they had to stay sharp and they needed. The Navi wasn't that. The Navi would get his nevuah sleeping. It was a whole different type of thing. Towards the end of the second Beis Hamikdash, we lost that whole idea of Nevi'im. And the Nevi'im said, prophesied that.
Was that a good thing to the movie?
So what do you mean? Until then, from Adam Rishon, until then, we had a direct connect to God.
At all
We
times.
were one phone call away from Trump. Right? Everybody in America,
It was your fave five.
Every Jew in America is
Roll
one
over
Trump,
minutes.
one phone call away. You know somebody that knows Trump, right? We all know somebody that's one phone call away from Trump.
As he said, this shtickle is not good.
Lahavdil, right? So when we have Nevi'im coming and saying, Hashem told me, when we say Hashem told me directly, like from Matan Torah, Hashem told us, was the last. And then we had that continuation from Matan Torah, from that revelation where all of Klal Yisrael had a revelation of God. And we still had a connect, meaning we had a phone call that we could get from God with a message, and that's what would happen. God would send messages through. God said, if you don't do tshuva, I'm going to destroy Nineveh. God told me, if you don't do tshuva, I'm going to destroy the Beis Hamikdash. God told me this is going to happen. God told me this. Meaning we have a direct connection with our Creator, with the thing that made us. Well, we lost that. All of a sudden, we're a robot, free. In the thing, we're not connected to nothing. We have no way. Our Creator is not all of a sudden not connected to us. That lost control with the radio.
So then
lost
we
radio
implemented-
control with the rocket. Is what happened when we lost Nevuah.
This is air control.
Our air control. Houston, we got a problem. we lost radio
Flight
control.
0432.
Flight 0432.
Please come in.
Yeah.
You're flying over restricted airspace.
Exactly. Please come in. But we lost radio contact, and that's huge. When we chop what it means that we lost Nevuah towards the end of the second Beis Hamikdash, means we lost radio contact.
So therefore, we created all these.
So
things,
therefore, the
this-
Anshe Knesset Agdola came and said, no.
And then when you have 10 and you say, Baruch Baruch
the way you can re-engage that consciousness, it's not that we lost it. It was given to everybody individually.
And the reason why
It went
it
from a
comes to you
cloud
when you
to
have
a
a
cloud,
restriction,
And
you have to put the whole thing into action. When you have a restriction and you're constricted and you're not able to do it,
I did get it. I'm sorry.
When you look up and you say you don't know what to do, that's when you're feeling constricted, restricted, and that's when you have that power to bring it down a little bit more and say, "I need your help." You're coming from a point of lack, and that's not bad. It's not a problem to not have. You're coming and you're asking, or you could come from the place when you're good. But the point is that we bring it down with 10.
10 creates the energy that gave Leibel the courage to say Baruch today. We created the energy in the room. Enough energy was being produced enough, how does he call it, nuclear was being enriched in order to be able to say a baruch Hu
Why
today.
did he give you one?
And after Nevuah got dispersed into these.
I had one. I
And
used to
then, once we lost
I had
Nevuah,
And was it?
once we lost Nevuah, we can look at it as we lost Nevuah, or Nevuah was dispersed into each and every one of us.
Here we go.
Ooh, higher
Im
level.
Ein of
concept.
Nevi'im b'nei
Talk the
Nevi'im.
Bible.
Meaning, we say, Im Ein of Nevi'im b'nei Nevi'im.
I like that.
Klal
That's better.
Yisrael,
Okay.
if they're not Nevi'im themselves, they're children of Nevi'im. What does that mean? Meaning, yes, we don't have Nevuah, but our Tati was a Navi. All of our Tati was a Navi. Meaning, if you grew up, what does it mean, Im Ein of Nevi'im b'nei Nevi'im heim? Meaning, you grew up in a household where your Tati was a Navi. If you grew up in a household where your Tati was a Navi, you know how to access certain states. You know you know the tricks. You sat at your father's Shabbos table as he received Nevuah. You saw it, you experienced it. You were all there. We're all B'nai Nevi'im heim. We grew up with Tati, not B'nai Nevi. We grew up, we have that, some people ask me, not ask me, but they tell me, and we've had this conversation. I, Baruch Hashem, grew up at a house where my father at the Shabbos table fed us like chickens, stuffed the guns, and we got so much
You
information.
got the white liver, yeah?
No, liver.
Not our
I
White
promise you
white
no
liver,
liver.
geese,
No, we
geese.
sat there for hours.
I got it in my
till the food
freezer.
Came out.
I
We
got
had
my
one
freezer.
piece of challah.
Zisha. I
Right. Oh
got
my
the
God.
geese liver.
Wait, I want to hear this. This is
Hours.
good
My
drama.
mother would
Freezer.
speak for an hour Friday night.
Ah,
Hour
go.
with his
Fuck
eyes
yourself.
Shall I bring it today?
Eyes closed.
Shall I bring
Eyes
it today?
closed.
Yo. Shall I
Not
bring it-
looking at any 12 of you.
Not looking at a single one. He would
Really? What
speak
do you
for
say,
an
Torah?
hour. Say-
Tyra, and he would probably sing to himself a little bit.
He would say Torah for an hour with his eyes
Shall I
closed.
bring today the geese liver?
Yes.
You make a barbecue
Ooh,
today?
yeah. Ooh, yeah, live for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I have a guy coming.
I got 2 pounds.
Nice.
It's 2 pounds?
Pounds.
That's more than
If
enough.
a guy knows it, you have to know how to make it.
I know how to make it. I'll make it.
2 pounds.
To make it, you
Yeah, I'll
know.
make it. I'll make it.
You have, you know?
I know how to make it.
Goose liver.
Yummy, yummy.
Oh, it costs $200 a pound.
Foie gras.
An hour.
We were totally off from our first.
No.
1 second, an hour?
An hour of what?
Straight?
Cow. I got
what?
You just sit there like a schmuck?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then when he would do it Shabbos day,
No questions even? Are you allowed to ask a question?
cry.
No questions.
Yeah, you know, the heart, you
He's here.
eat
It's
the
I
heart.
got all the pieces of the basic Mikdash right
Wow.
here. Say it again, what you got?
1 second. No,
Long,
of course.
Mom, there's the components right here, man.
Cow is still hanging in the garage.
Yeah, but
amazing.
with all of that, with my ADD going through the roof and
I take the
miserable at the
Queen's
time and
the
hungry
Queen's
and
everything.
and really
tail.
miserable,
The tail you put in the
I
churn.
learned a lot,
In the churn, you put
and
the
I
tail.
got a lot of input during that time. That was USB downloads.
that's amazing, by the way. I'm
So
Yes,
I'm.
What else? What else did he
So the
do?
reason I can.
How long would he
open
sing for?
something is because- oh,
I
Dave,
wish I could say the same. I
slow.
always thought it was the same.
Depressing.
I love it. Thank you, Ben, for that.
I wish I could say the same.
I wish you could say,
Father and Son.
I said,
Father
Shabbos
and
day,
Son.
we would daven at
Yeah.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Hello,
Caesars, yeah.
Ben.
And we would be home by
Father
10:30. At
You know what?
2:30, I'd be looking at the
You know
clock
what?
that I'd like to get to
Screaming and
Pirchei.
crying and yelling.
Just to get the hell out.
But
You know
the
what?
meal's still going.
City should have shown.
From 10:30?
2:30.
Speaker, right?
And he's not even, was he drinking? He wasn't even drink.
We'd go upstairs for an hour and learn, and and he did it.
All the boys would learn together?
No, we'd hang out. We'd go to the nursing home on the corner where Yankee is now. I lived on that block. On that block, we would hang out and with this, we'd do nothing. Go to Tervadas roof and throw rocks at the cars down in the used car lot right behind me. He'd come Sunday morning and all the windshields were smashed.
Too much time.
Then we would take all the fire extinguishers in the whole yeshiva Tervadas and with
Fire extinguishers are fun. There are a lot of fun fire
fights
extinguishers.
way before days of cameras. Way before they.
Fire extinguishers are a lot of fun.
One huge camera at the entrance of the building. That's all
And if
buildings
it
had.
worked,
Cameras,
hello.
and if it
And if-
worked.
Alibi.
If it was even connected.
Someone's changing the
lot of
tape
them
deck.
Okay, can I hear the 3 layers of seichel?
Oh, you weren't here yesterday, so you had to go back into that. So that's
But
what
all
I'm
this
saying.
happened from the story of yesterday, Rachel and Leah.
Beauty. But I just want to get back. You asked about Meyer for a second. Let's just get back to finish that. So once we lost the Nevi'im, and if Einan Nevi'im, B'nai Nevi'im, hey, meaning we grew up and our parents were Nevi'im, meaning we know how to get to that consciousness. We have that basic.
His eyes closed.
You had the original dialogue.
We have the manual. We have the USB. We have the information. We have the seichel hanikna in our DNA how to access consciousness. We have in our DNA how to access nevuah because we grew up with it. So it's in our DNA how to access it. So Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv is just the tools and the roadmap is because we don't have somebody coming saying clearly, but you know how to do it. I'm going to give you 3 different tricks of how to access that same exact nevuah that was coming from Zechariah and Malachi and Amos. It's the same nevuah that you can tap into, and I'm just giving you the roadmap. Do you have to?
No.
Don't
Do you
gotta do
have to
nothing.
listen to the Navi?
Don't gotta do
You have to listen to
nothing.
the Navi, but now you're the Navi.
Yeah, baby. Give me
Now
the
you're
juice.
the Navi.
I got the juice.
You're the one that
Yes,
gets the
stop for a
messages
second.
directly.
I want to ask you another question. Baruch Hashem lo'elam and the Bible, you don't say it in a lot of places. In Israel, they don't say it, or in America, some say, some no.
By Mariv,
Yes.
the reason they don't is because they want to be Soimach Geula L'Tfila. They want to go from Gal Yisrael straight into thing. It's
So hefsek.
it's in the Lubavitcher Siddur, the Rebbe Siddur, the Alter Rebbe Siddur, and the Balatanya Siddur. You'd be shocked to see what they don't say. Everything that means anything to us, they take out. It's very interesting because he takes out all piyutim. Every piyut from everybody, Nisan HaToikev's not in. You know, anything that means anything to us means nothing to
Shamri,
them.
they don't say
All
Shamri.
correct, because all the things that
Shamri,
we
because
attach
it's-
meaning to in davening, because we sing it or whatever,
Yeah.
those are the added things, and the Balatanya takes them all out.
The Shamri is
The
because
only
they're
thing
hefsik.
he
They
leaves
say
in-
they're hefsik.
What are the words?
What?
Are the words?
There's a lot.
The only thing he leaves in are the words.
No, the only things that he leaves in are from the Zohar specifically, or one other one, or the Arizal. B'nai Echala is in, but because that's from, but all these other things are out. A lot of the tefillas
No
that we
Zmiris,
say,
no Zmiris,
no
nothing.
Zmiris, are very, very few.
No singing at all, just very dry.
They have nigunim. In Chabad, they're very into nigunim. They can go, they know in their heads.
Safer on the gun.
They have like 12, you could say number 13. And this guy, and then number 6. Or they call it the Polish, the Majid, the this one, the this. A million different nigunim, and they have names for them. When they go to
They're
the
organized.
Balatanya, they'll sing like 7 in a row. There's an order for them. The Alter Rebbe's niggin, the Milter Rebbe's niggin, the this niggin, the this, and they go through on whatchamacallit, on Achron Shel Pesach, I think they do it also, where they'll sing all of, you ever hear it, Dudi, where they sing all of the Rebbe's in Chabad. They start from the Alter Rebbe's niggin, and they go through all of but they know them.
A lot of the
How do
A
we
lot of
connect
the
seichel
and they
Leah?
know weird the knetches and the this and the tenua and the this. They're
great.
very
They
into
argue,
it.
it's lie.
Literally, almost.
Can we go back to seichel
Like,
Leah?
I'm like this.
What's wrong? Why are you trying to control, man, so hard?
We tapped into something in the beginning, we got totally...
That's their song. It's a Chabad song. That's what I recently heard. It's a very old Chabad song that they
Right.
thought it's theirs.
Everything is everything.
Yeah. And Chabad stole it from somewhere else
Everything
also.
is everything. What do you mean?
Chabad had their own like.
No, Jews are the best. We're the best imitators. No, we're the best imitators. We take it from all the churches. The Rebbe's walking by the church and he hears the da-da-da, and then he goes back to shul. That's exactly what
The
happened.
next thing you
I
got.
thought you should-
And I think the guy had like this, this
Where do
thing.
you think they got it from?
They got it from the other.
No, they didn't get it from us. No, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
We were busy learning. No, we were learning the Batei Midrashim.
My father used to say a joke, guys. He once passed by a big Rebbe with a big fish, and they're all singing, da die, da die, da di 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 die, da die, da die, da die, da. Pop goes the weasel. And somebody heard a song, and he decided he made it into a. You can make anything.
Fine. Very good.
Go ahead.
My Oberlein, Bruch Shalom, my Oberlein.
Alright, let's take this up tomorrow.
You guys got shit?
That was a good share.
Hello, Lily.
Today's whole energy was whack.
Yeah, Mayor's here.
I think we should end every day with a digging like that.
We should, yeah, definitely end every day. Unlocking, we're unlocking it. Everything, we're unlocking
wait
it
till
all. Just
tomorrow.
let it.
That's actually funny.
The dark secrets.
Man,
Megan.
Come on, Megan.
Next album. That's going to be the meaningless minute theme song.
No, but it makes so much sense, right? You were saying that Leah, right? Leah Rockwell, because we know that she was supposed to marry Esau.
Yes, that's what.
Yes, yes.
I'm supposed to marry Esau. You don't have to do nothing. Yaakov could marry you.
Whoa.
Why are you crying? Why are you
Whoa.
in your mindset? Why are you
Because-
stuck where you are?
because-
I have to do this.
Not
You don't
because-
have to do nothing.
Not because-
Leia needed drugs.
No, not because.
That's the answer. She needed an
Because it was laid
ayahuasca
out.
ceremony,
Yeah.
and she would have been
She
good.
needed layer rockets. She needed
No, but
rocks.
Yaakov-
Rocks?
Rocks.
No, she had rocks. She had rocks. She moved the boulder. No, she didn't move the boulder. A different one moved the boulder.
No, Yaakov had the rocks.
Yaakov got the rocks. Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah.
Yaakov came with all
Yeah.
You think a Jew made that rock?
ZZ Top. Yeah.
A Jew.
Garage.
Apple Jews, grape
Yeah.
Jews, cranberry Jews,
Pineapple juice.
pineapple Jews, orange Jews.
No, this is Kaki Duty Pishy. Howard. It's
Good
great.
stuff that you sent.
Bible, I love it when you say pineapple juice. I don't know why.